Welcome back, students. Welcome back to URUREMBO class. As your teacher, your field teacher of biology. For the previous session, you have seen this unit number 5 called the cell and nuclear division. So we have seen haploid and diploid our cell cycle. But now we are going to see what is a cell cycle. What is a cell cycle? Means during the cell growth, also there is any that produce another so-called cell, a cell cycle. So here there is a structure that's showing some cell cycle. Then this cell cycle pass through two phases. First, mitotic phases and cytokinesis, and also the next is called the interphase. So here, we're back here to look each phase. So let's see what is a cell cycle. A cell cycle is a cyclic event of cell growth, mitosis, and cell division. So, dear students of URUREMBO class, we'll see what is a mitosis. For the next session, we'll be discuss in deep what is a mitosis, and also we'll see this cell division in a general. So then, now we are still discussing about the cell cycle. Dear students, what's the cell cycle? What's the cycle? What's the cycle? For example, let me give an example. You know that our mother, our father married. Then after they produced different children, male and female. And then during our love, as me, as one of offspring from my parents, and then during my infant, for example, for 1 month, it's not like now. Then I grow, I increase their body size, and so on. And then this occurs through the cell cycle. So then the cell cycle also, we have seen the previous session called the haploid and diploid, and also we have seen a karyotype for the previous session. We have seen the sex chromosome, and also we have seen a somatic and also a sex chromosome. During the cell cycle, there is what called a somatic cell of an organism body divided by mitosis. Means that a somatic, it is different from reproductive cell. A somatic, it is in charge of producing the body cell, while the reproductive cell in charge of producing the gamete. Dear student, what is the gamete? Who can give us one example of gamete? I think that you remember. Let me remind you. When you say gamete, for example, a sperm is a gamete. For a male. And also, ovum is a gamete from a female. So then, when you say autosome, this autosome and sex chromosome. And then during mitosis, as one event of cell cycle, use a somatic cell or body cell to produce another cell. Now, while for the reproductive cell, it will produce the gamete during meiosis. But we are still also dealing with mitosis as one event of cell cycle. But also we'll deal with mitosis in a deal. So let's continue. So this cell cycle basically consists of two phases. The first phase is called the mitotic phase. The second phase is called the interphase. So for the mitotic phase, it includes mitosis and cytokinesis. Dear student, in the previous session, we have seen a cytokinesis. What is cytokinesis? Yes, you know it. Cytokinesis is the division of a cytoplasm. And then, a mitosis is a division of nucleus, of a single nucleus, that will produce genetically, identically, two daughter nuclei. So this is what called the mitosis. While the cytokinesis is a division of cytoplasm, as I have said. And then, dear students, as a result of this mitosis phase, one cell divides into completely two identical daughter cells. It will be different for meiosis. When you see meiosis, how the reproductive cell produce four daughter cells, non-identical to the parent cell. So we will see. So let's start by dealing with this interface. What is interface? The first phase of cell cycle. This interface is typically cell spends most of its time in interface as one phase of cell cycle. Means that it accounts for about 90% of the whole cell cycle. Interface involves growth, DNA replication process, and also another event. Then also it is further divided into different phases. Let's see this first phase of the interface called the G0. In this first phase of interface called the G0 is also called the cell it will rest, meaning no activity of cell. It is in resting phase. Means that no activity cell perform is like in resting. No activity, no multiplication, and so on. This is called the G0. This means that the G0, it is a cell resting phase. It can be temporary or permanent, depends. Maybe permanent or temporary. When this is permanent, it means that there is no previous session called the G1 that we see. But when it is temporary, also after G0, it will continue to the next called the G1. So let's see the G1 of the interface. G1 phase of the interface. It is also first growth phase, or is also called the post-mitotic gap phase. So then, in this phase of this phase, characterized by the cell growth in size, means that in the first growth phase, it will show these characteristics. The first characteristics, cell grows in size. The next thing, there is a negative synthesis of RNA and proteins. The next characteristic is cell carries out its physiological functions and prepare the machinery for the cell to proceed to the next stage. Means here, there is different functions of cell. This perform these first they call the G1 or first growth. Then also a large number of nucleotides, amino acids for histone synthesis and energy-rich compound are also formed in this G1. Dear students, I think that you understand this how this interface is very interesting for the globe of human. As one of these G1 as first globe, it categorized with different interesting phases that represent to enter to the next phase. And then also, the cell organelle also increase in number. That will help cell to grow. And next also, after this, however, it shows no change in its DNA content. Even if there are different chains, but the DNA content never change. I think that you understand. In this first growth phase, the DNA never change. So after this G1 as a first growth phase, then it's followed by a synthesis phase or S phase. Then also there are different characteristics shown in this synthesis phase. The first, the DNA molecule of each chromosome replicates by the synthesis of new DNA on the template of the existing DNA. Dear students, do you remember what is DNA replication? When you say replication, what do you understand? Dear students of URUREMBO class, do you remember? We have seen this DNA replication. So let me remind you. You remember DNA replication is when the DNA produces its copy similar to its own. This is called the DNA replication. Means that it replicates and synthesizes new DNA as a copy of the original DNA. These occur in this synthesis phase. And then there's also the DNA content means that the double means replicated. And also duplicate set of genes are formed. This is a characteristic of S phase. The next characteristics is DNA's chromatin fibers also replicate. As chromatin fibers are elongated chromosome, each chromosome comes to have two chromatin. Do you remember chromatin? Do you remember structure of chromosome? Remember chromosome contain two chromatids and also contain chromatin. I think that you remember. Then this chromatin is like a thread, like a twin or sister chromatid, which mainly attached at common point called the centromere. Do you remember centromere? We have seen the previous session called the haploid and diploid condition of cell cycle. We have seen that homologous chromosome contain the same, there is a point on the same point of the centromere. Remember the centromere, it is like the point where the chromatid join together form a complete duplicate chromosome. Then let's continue. Next thing, also characteristic that's found in the synthesis phase. The cell does remain the original diploid, means that even there is duplication of chromosome, but it remains as a diploid to end chromosome or full number of chromosome. And there also the number now has duplicate of set of genes. Then exception here that you must keep in mind for the first for this S phase or synthesis phase. It is also called the invisible phase of mitosis. Since this phase, chromosome prepare themselves for equitable distribution of retinal R that we use in this phase also. The centriole also divide into two. Remember centriole? The centriole divide into two pairs in the same containing the same. So then after the synthesis phase, I think that you understand different characteristics that take place in this phase, and then G2 phase. For G2 phase or the second glow phase. In the second glow phase or pre-mitotic gap phase. Right? You see different characteristics. Then for this G2 phase or the second glow phase, there is a synthesis of RNA and proteins continue in this phase. And also the cell prepare itself to go into the mitotic phase. Then also another characteristic, also this phase produce micromolecules for the multiplication of cell organelle, spinal formation and cell growth. Dear student, these are characteristics that show in the second glow phase. And then also the cell contain the double DNA content. This is a characteristic of G2 or second glow phase. So then, let me see the data related to each phase of cell cycle. There are different data, or the time related to this phase. G0, G1, S, G2 phase. So then, only this one, the time consumed by each stage in the cell cycle vary from organism to organism. Let's consider example of human being. Let's consider, take an example of human being. Human being, one round of cell cycle takes 24 hours, means 1 day. So let's see, each phase, for example, G1, S phase, G2, what time taken for each? So, for G1, it will take around 5 to 6 hours. Where synthesis phase take about 10 to 12 hours. And then G2 take around about 4 to 6 hours. But now the mitotic phase takes about less than 1 hour. Means that interphase, it is that take enough time during the cell cycle. Means that mitosis phase take only less than an hour. So let's continue for this. Also, we have seen this new content is about the state cycle. So dear student, we have seen all the phases of cell cycle. We have seen what the cell cycle, and also we, as summary, we have different phases of a cell cycle that contain mitotic phase and cytokinesis. Also in the interphase, we have seen the interphase contain G0, G1, S phase, and G2. And also we have seen the time taken for each phase. Dear students of URUREMBO class, please remember to subscribe, make a comment, and also I'm teacher Teofilo Biology. We'll meet again for the next session. Please remember to subscribe and follow every time. See you. Thank you for your attendance. See you next time.